Coming up on Up for Review, we're going to take a look at the Panasonic HC-VX981. Welcome to Up for Review. I am Dan Holfeld, and today I'm going to be unboxing the Panasonic HC-VX981. This is a 4K camera and it's also prosumer. This is basically going to replace the Canon Vixia HFR 700 that I reviewed last time. Main reason, I just didn't like the quality of it. It was a little grainy, it kind of looked unfocused, and I did my research, stepped up, and I think this is going to do a lot better job. Of course, it's 4K. This video is in 4K, and by the way, this camera and this camera here is the exact same camera. The wide is my iPhone. So, if you like what you see, by all means. I want to make a special note right here. I do have the sharpen up +1, and now after editing the footage here, I can see all those spots, and I don't like that at all, so I'll be bringing that back down to 0. Here is another shot I did without any sharpness on it. Now here's another shot post with some sharpen on in the Final Cut editor that I use. And now after reviewing this, I'd rather put the sharpen on in the editor versus having the camera do it. So just make a note of that I did have a +1 on the camera for sharpness, and now I'm going to put that back. Obviously this is color graded and this is not color graded. So there's a big difference there, and like I said, this is pretty damn good. Obviously the studio is lit, so it's a little bit better lighting. Now this camera is available right now on Amazon for $697.99. And the supplier through Amazon, Adoria Camera, actually had a package where you get the power pack, so you get another battery and a recharger, always handy. They threw in an a Pro Optics Lens Essential Filter Kit, so you get a UV filter, circular polarizer, neutral density. Will I use it? 32 gigabyte SD card, yeah, it's kind of tiny, especially when you're running a 4K camera like this. A memory card wallet, which are very nice. It's like a padded one. An Optic Care and Cleaning Lens Kit, which contains lens cleaning wipes, lens cleaning spray, microfiber lens cloths, fine brush, air blower, and a carrying pouch. And last but not least, which was really kind of the nice thing, was a nice little camera bag. And since I have 3 of these, I had 3 complete kits like this, so that's going to be nice to have all that stuff. Now there's also the higher version, that is the WXF991. Now that contains another ball camera in the viewfinder, which you can flip that around, and then that camera will be facing you and the main one will be facing out, kind of like a picture-in-picture. And this camera also contains, if we can see it over here, you can link it up to your cell phone and have picture-in-picture with another angle, and as long as you're not too far away, it will be all right. So let's go ahead and do an unboxing and see what we got. First things first, pull the back tab open, top, pop down, and got our user manual. We got the lens hood, which really makes it look nice and professional. Block out some sunlight, of course. Your battery. Your DC to USB. And now there also comes with the plug, so you can plug your USB right in there. Now I will say that this cord is a little bit short. I had to get some extension cords to run these 2 cameras in order for it to plug in. So they kind of cheaped out there. Now it also comes with an HDMI micro cable, so you can plug it into your TV or whatever else. The shoe adapter, which this is actually a different, I'll show you how it goes in a minute, but it's pretty weird. It actually sticks in the back. HDMI from your camera to USB. All right, now without further ado, here is the camera. Kind of just wrapped like the other one was, the Vixia. All right, and that's all there is to it right there. Kind of nice, slim design. Like I said, it's kind of like a consumer camcorder, but now we take our lens hood, put that into place, it screws on. All right, there you have it. Looks a lot like more pro style with that lens hood on. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this card here, but this card's just showing that it's 4K. You got your zoom, wireless with the, you can use your iPhone and stuff. Does it feel a little cheap? Yeah, it feels a little bit cheaper. For the price, $697.99, you can't really go wrong with that. It's 4K. Taking a quick look here at the body, we do have a push scroll function wheel right here. You got your USB in, HDMI, AV out, and microphones for external mics. Zoom rocker on top, 5.1 channel. Now when you're recording in 4K, that's only stereo, but when you go to AVC HD, that's 5.1. You also have headphone jack right here, and your DC in right there. So, and like I said, this model is basically a stripped down version, that WXF991. That's the one that has the camera, so you can turn the side camera, have it face you, do some blogging while you're shooting. You'll have that picture-in-picture screen in the corner. It also comes with the optical viewfinder in back, so you can look through it like that without using your LCD screen. And that is gonna run you another couple $100 for all that. So that's the difference between those two. So it's kind of nice that they stripped down that version and got, so you can get the price low. Now here's the shoe adapter. Let's take a look at this. It actually just slides right in this back port. Kind of goofy. You stick it in and it clicks. And yeah, it's in the back. Why couldn't they put it right here? Maybe because of the surround sound, I don't know. But then to release that and get it out, there's actually a shoe adapter release right here. So push that down and then pull out. So just like that. Let's go ahead. I got a battery that's charged. Let's go ahead and boot it up. Let's stick in a memory card here too. And immediately we're being asked to set up our time and date. Now right off the bat when you're doing this, you're hearing a chime every time you make a click. There is a way to turn that off because it annoys the hell out of you, and I wouldn't blame you for doing it. So. All right, date is set. Let's go into and change some options here, because that clicking is making annoying. Setup, and we'll scroll down. Here's your alert sound. I'm gonna go ahead and shut that off right away because that's really annoying. Off, exit, and then also the modes are up here, upper left. So we're gonna click that. We're gonna go to manual because that's where it's at. And now you have manual controls of your focus, white balance, shutter, and iris. I always just go to iris and make sure it's down to 0 dB. And then we're gonna scroll this way, go to the menu, and now this is where we can select what we want to record in. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the zoom mode so it's optical zoom only, because that's important. So the record formats, now this is where it gets interesting. They got 4K MP4, which is actually 4K at 30 frames, but I like the cinematic look. There's also an option down here for 24p, if you can see that. They got MP4 iframe and AVC HD. AVC HD is 60p or 60i, you got your choice and that's it. So I want 24, I'm gonna go to 24. And then you also have to come down to record mode, and now this is where you select at 24 frames at 2160, which is 4K, or 24 at 1080p. Now I kind of noticed when I was editing these that if you shoot it, I've seen a lot. Notice that light turned on? That's an auto light. Anytime it thinks it's too dark, the light turns on automatically. So we want to get rid of that. Now this was actually under the record setup. We got it right here. Video light, we're going to want to turn from auto to off. That'll keep that light from kicking on. They also got night mode in here, and that's where you can turn night vision on. Now we got it filming. Now I will say, now I'm facing out. I'm going to go over to manual and go back down to the iris and make sure. See, now it says open 6 dB. We want to make sure that comes back down to 0, because if that's not down to 0, you're going to start getting that grain. It's going to be darker, but we're not going to have the grain. So there we go. We got some nice blacks. And I don't know, can you see some grain? Maybe a little bit. Not as bad as you think. And like I said, these will be the main cameras, the 1, 2, 3 close-up shots. My XA10 as the wide. Also turns around, you can flip it, do stuff like that. So it's, you can blog or whatever with it. I won't be doing much of that. This is in 4K. I think it looks somewhat decent. And like I say, I think what I might end up doing is shoot the program in 4K, but then I'll downscale it to 1080p, and that's the way you're getting your best quality. There's something about shooting it in 4K and then rendering it out as 1080p where you're not losing it. It still looks decent, and it's easier a file to upload. But this is kind of future-proofing a little bit, so I mean, if I ever go to 4K, obviously this program's in 4K, my iPhone's shooting in 4K, my close-up, and my back. So that's kind of it. So now this camera, when you close it up, you got it in pause, you close it, the shutter is going to shut on its own. Pretty cool. Will that be a mechanical failure down the road? I hope not. If not, it feels like it's easy enough to open. I can slide it down already with my hand, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a worry. The main gripe with this camera, your SD card slot is on the bottom. Now if you got a tripod that blocks that whole bottom plate, that's going to be a pain in the ass to get at your card. The one I got here in front, I have it front just enough so that back part's exposed and you can slide it down and get at it. But that can be a pain in the ass if you're not careful. This camera also has HDR movie, but you have to be recording in AVC HD. So 60 frames, and then you're allowed at 1080p to do high dynamic range. Now HDR, of course, is good exposure for your darks and then your highlights as well, so you're getting a combination of both. Will I be shooting in that? No, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it at 4K 24p because that's where it's at. Now I did experiment with a twin camera mode. Now that's where I can actually use my cell phone for a picture-in-picture camera separate from the camera. Now that's kind of cool if you don't have access to a computer and you can't stick it in yourself. But I have that capability, so I'm not gonna even really be using that. There might be a special occasion I might use that. But in order to use that mode, you gotta be in AVC HD, and that's at 60p. So how that works, the camera itself makes itself a Wi-Fi point, and from there, you connect to the camera. Now I did find out when I even got slightly a little ways from it, on the other side of a wall, you'd see the video start stuttering. So it's not really, like I said, if you're a video editor, you're not really gonna be using that because you could just film at whatever resolution you want and then stick it in the corner yourself. So there you have it, the Panasonic HC-VX981, the 4K prosumer camera. Available on Amazon for $697.99. I'm gonna enjoy this camera. It already looks better with low light, but I will say it looks better in here compared to the Vixia HF700. But when you get this in low light, you're gonna get some grain. And of course, it's not a DSLR. It's not gonna have the bigger image sensor like you will with a DSLR. So you're gonna get that grain in low light. But it helps if you adjust and bring that dB level down on your iris. So that's that, the Panasonic HC-VX981. I'm enjoying it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep this camera and use them for the studio. Like I said, I wanted to go with a camcorder just for the fact I don't have to worry about resetting anything and everything works fine. So there it is, one last look. If you're interested in finding more about this camera, please click the Amazon link below.